What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our 2021 NBA Draft Player Breakdown Series. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the best international prospects in this year's draft class. He's played in the NBL, he's Australian, he's super young at only 18 years old. His name is Josh Giddey, so let's get into the video. So to me, Josh is a very intriguing prospect. He's only 18 years old. He's super young for this draft class. And I think he's got a lot of strengths and upside that could really make him appealing to GMs and could really separate him from some of the other players in this draft class. To me, the biggest strength of Josh is his size combined with playmaking. Josh is a 6'8" point guard who can really pass the ball. In the NBL, he averaged 8 assists a game, which is really impressive, especially for someone who's 18. For a team to really trust him with the ball, put the ball in his hands, and let him make plays and make his teammates better at only 18 years old is really impressive. And I think it puts him in the class of being one of, if not the best, playmaker in this draft class. You combine that with being 6'8", that's elite size for the position coming into the league, and something that could really separate him from other players, not only in the draft class, but in the league already. Some other strengths that Josh has is his ability to score off the dribble. He's able to use his handle to get to the rim, finish there, or finish with pull-up jump shots, pull-up threes, things of that nature. Just really knows how to score the ball with the ball in his hands. Also, due to him playing internationally, though, being more of kind of a team-oriented game rather than in America where it's a little more ISO heavy, he's able to score off the ball and just like I said, score off the ball. Doesn't need the ball in his hands to be someone who can impact the game. Also, on the defensive end, he's a solid team defender. He's not the greatest athlete, not the going to lock people up necessarily in ISO situations, but he's able to use that height and length to cause problems in passing lanes, really pester smaller guards in the paint, just being overall good help side defender. And then one last strength of Josh's is that he is an elite level rebounder. He averaged 8 rebounds a game in the NBL. Overall, he averaged 12, 8, and 8, and his numbers were very impressive, arguably better than LaMelo Ball's. And we've seen how he's been his rookie year in the NBA. And so hopefully, based on the stats, Josh could potentially have a similar impact in the NBA that LaMelo has had. Some weaknesses of Josh are that he's not the greatest athlete in the world. He relies more on that size and length to cause problems on both ends of the floor rather than being an elite level athlete. So that's something that's definitely going to have to take time to get used to in the NBA, as obviously the NBL doesn't have the same level of athletes that the NBA does. And so I'm sure scouts are going to question if his athleticism is good enough in the NBA or if it's going to translate, something like that. And so that's something that, I could see definitely being a weakness for him and taking time to adjust once he gets to the NBA. Other things that he's going to have to improve on is definitely his shooting. He's only a 31% three-point shooter this last year in the NBL. Only shot 69% from the free throw line, so that's something that could be a little worrying, as normally if you have the high free throw percentage, teams think you can develop that three-point shot, and both those were pretty low. And so teams are definitely going to make him shoot the ball early in his career, make him a shooter, and sag off of him, and really probably limit his playmaking abilities by sagging off of him. And so he's going to have to prove that he can knock down that outside shot and be a threat from there. And then some other things that he might have to clean up on are he may be almost too unselfish to a fault, really likes to pass the ball and sometimes isn't aggressive enough on the offensive side of the floor. And so if teams are sagging off of him, making him a shooter, but he doesn't want to take it, really wants to get his teammates involved, but he's not able to because he's not able to get the dribble penetration that he's probably used to. I could see that definitely being an issue for him at the NBA level, and he's going to have to really develop into someone who can at least be a threat to score the ball at all times. Overall, I really like Josh as a prospect. I think he's got a really good combination of size and playmaking ability. some of the best in this year's draft class. I think it's up there with Cade. Cade has a few other things that I think separate him from Josh, but when you look at like Josh's statistics in the NBL, they're arguably better than LaMelo's were last year. And so I think that's very promising heading into the NBA. And I think his overall success early in his career is going to depend on which team drafts him and how much trust they have in him and how much they let him have the ball in his hands. Do I think he's going to be as good as LaMelo or has that same upside? No. But I do think he can be a very good NBA player. I think it's just going to come down to fit. And like I said, how much is he going to have the ball in his hands early in his career? And so those are just kind of my thoughts on this game. Let me know what you think of him down in the comment section below. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later.